for Buffalo. We're going to see Caleb Brooks, Lucier on a single right away. Caleb's a graduate student from Canal, Winchester, Ohio. He went to Circleville High School. Good attack here. Really good attack, a deep attack too. And he's creating space now. We're all tied up in a scramble, obviously, but he wants to pass the head. Push the ankle down. He's doing exactly what he should be doing. Coaches are coaching him through this position. Lucier's got that bottom leg lock, though. So that's making it difficult for Caleb here. He could try to put him in neutral danger, but this might be, no, it's not going to be a stalemate. So Caleb Brooks is coming in on top. So he's going to go potentially dangerous, not stalemate, potentially dangerous. Lucier's got to get back to his offense here. Good hard hand tie on the right side. They know that, Nate's got strong collar ties. The Buffalo staff has obviously scouted him. They've seen him before. Caleb's been doing this a long time as a graduate student. Good leg attack there. He just needs to commit a little bit more, but great idea. Caleb is actually a transfer from Northern Illinois, which is ironically a MAC rival for Buffalo. So there again, if he can clear that hand and get to that inside knee, he's good. And Nate's made a lot of progress throughout his career thus far. Continues to do so. Really good high school wrestler out of PA, obviously. Coatesville. Again, I don't feel like the guys are like feeling each other out. I feel like they're attacking, which is what we want to see in college wrestling. Like, we don't want to see the weight and kind of like, well, we'll see what happens type scenario. We want to see action right away, and I think we've seen that all night with Drexel, with Buffalo, obviously with Binghamton. So 2 hands to the head right now, but again, the height advantage obviously goes to Brooks. I mean, he's super tall for the weight class. And in talking to Coach Stutzman, I mean, their guys are, by and large, when you look at their lineup, they're really big for their weight classes. If that sounds weird to non-wrestling people, but let's be honest, non-wrestling people aren't watching this anyhow. So, all right, Brooks is going to go down right away. And if you've never been to a college match, you're missing out on a lot of really interesting things. There's tons of action all the time. So good scarf ride here. So he wants to obviously flatten him out, but Brooks is doing a good job getting to his feet. So you're in this position here where you got to get him back down, and Lucier does such a good job of that right there. You have to show the ref that you're not only riding, you're working for turns, and if Nate can get him all the way flat, that's indicating to the ref that this is going in the right direction. So this is what's interesting, and I understand the Buffalo coaches. So in the Drexel match, if you push the athlete out, they were consistent with calling stalling. But I don't know, I didn't see Buffalo actually watch the Drexel match so much. I'm sure they were in some way, shape, or form in this beautiful arena, but that was how they were calling things. So in that situation right there, maybe the ref saw something that we didn't, because right now, Lucier's in that advantage position. He's over 1 minute on the ride. He's got him all the way flat. We're less than a minute in the second period. So Lucier's putting himself in a really, really good position now. And he's got those wrists. You can just sense that he's feeling more comfortable as the match goes on. Not that he's uncomfortable, but like he's just kind of settling in, and he's like, all right, if I ride him out here, that's a big deal. He has an inside cradle locked up. Coach Borshoff's getting excited here. But the thing is, you don't want to give up that position, and if he can just give one, that's okay. If he gives up two, Buffalo's looking in a really, really good spot. 7 seconds left. They're almost out of bounds. So they go out. 1-0 right now.
Know where you're at. Let's go.
Coach Stutzman getting into it.
Get in there. Brooks, you gotta want it.
Coach Stutz telling Brooks, you got to want it. And I'm sure he does. Being a fifth-year senior, you know, he's been in a lot of these tight matches. Oh, good leg attack again by Lucier. Gets to the corner really, really well. He wants to pick this ankle up, which he's doing exactly what he should be doing. He wants to shelf it. Coach Borshoff and staff, they're all watching intently. So that's what he wants to do. He wants to shelf it. He wants to get to the corner. Okay, they call it potentially dangerous.
Pick it up, Brooks, you're fine. Pick it up.
Lucier doing a great job of holding center. And he's really putting it on Maddox. Like Brooks. He's definitely dictating the action here. He's making him feel uncomfortable. But then Brooks totally goes against what I was saying and has a great leg attack. He wants to get those hands free. I'm just really impressed with Lucier's attacks, the volume of attacks. And he doesn't want him to go out here because he wants to keep that time rolling. If he lifts the leg here and shelves it, he's going to be in a good spot. Good call by the ref. I like that Stutzman's telling his athlete, you can do it. Brooks, you can do it. I love that. I love positive coaching. And he can. I mean, the riding time's locked, but if he gets that three-point takedown, as I've been talking about that way too much, but if he gets that three-point takedown, he wins.
Be smart.
So I stand corrected. There is overtime due to the riding time and then the escape. And so in this sequence, they're going to go 2 minutes. First points win. However, then there's a ride out after that, 30-30. Then they go back to their feet for a minute if they need that as well. At the end of the day, it looks like both athletes want this match. You know, I mean, you want every match, but like at this point, Binghamton's up 7-0. If they do secure the win here, most likely it would only be a decision. So they would go up 10-0. Buffalo wins the match. They're back in it. 7-3. I can't tell you what's going to happen, actually. I mean, I think both of these guys are firing on all cylinders. So really good leg attack there by Lucier. But also, at the end of the day, these guys got to feel good about this effort. That's a good down block by Brooks. Really good. Using his height. So coaching staff at Buffalo wants Brooks to circle in, which obviously with the stalling calls, that the way that they are now in college wrestling, they're absolutely correct. So he's circling. We're under a minute in that first overtime stanza here.
Come on, boys! Come on!
So they've slowed down a little bit, knowing that this takedown is so incredibly important. Lucier takes a great shot on the edge. And, you know, Coach Borshoff and his staff probably hoped that he would have taken that leg attack in the middle of the mat. But that's all right. He's building up right now. And that is close. The fact that he's not putting his right foot on the mat is interesting to me, because he's so long. All he has to do is put his foot on the mat and the ref has to call it dead. Stutzman gives a emphatic encouragement to his athlete. Lucier's going to go down.
You got it, Brooks. Let's go.
I like how the Binghamton guys look directly at the ref when they're in the bottom and top position. Like, they do a really good job of timing things. So Kyle just threw the brick toward the head table. And he's pointing at the brick.
Keep it up.
So this will be interesting. Coach Borshoff threw the brick, and yet the refs didn't acknowledge it.
Hey, you gotta go.
They could probably see this on replay. I don't know exactly what Coach Borshoff is challenging, but like I said earlier in the first duel this evening, like, he's really good at challenging. He's a very, very intelligent coach. He knows the ins and outs of wrestling. He's a two-time All-American. He's a Hall of Famer, multiple-time Hall of Famer. So he knows what he's doing, as does his staff. So at the end of the day, I mean, I like that he's challenging something, because, again, it gives your athlete the time to kind of regroup and everything. And both sides are doing that, right? Yeah, like, I think Coach Borshoff's staff definitely, you know, they're putting their wrestlers in a really good spot. And Coach Stutzman is so intense. They just have different styles, but, like, they both work at the end of the day. You know, there can be that calm style that the Azevedos and Coach Borshoff's have, and then there's the intense styles that, like, Coach Stutzman and Coach Brands at EIWA have. So Coach Borshoff's still talking to the head official, and that was a complete ride out for Maddox. So he does have 30 on the ride now. And Nate's got a choice here. Like, he's got to ride him out, or you cut him and you put it to the takedown scenario. But that was a good start with a claw. And so a lot of scrambling here. You can see Maddox is motivated here. He's got to stay away from the locking hands, which he was close to. Not that he meant to, but, like, and that's, if he keeps his foot on. So foot went out. To my vantage point, I didn't see it, but if the foot went out by rule, out of the cylinder, they have to restart. So this is going to go back to its feet. Yes.
1 minute.
1 minute overtime, back to the feet. Again, I said this earlier, for a 1-1 match, super exciting. Good leg attack again. The whole Buffalo bench is on their feet. It's good to see when, you know, an entire program is behind their guy. This is Buffalo's only match of the night. They don't wrestle Drexel here, so Binghamton guys coming off Lehigh and then Drexel and now Buffalo. That's a hard schedule. So this overtime period goes away. It's essentially period 7. And period 7, lots of wrestling here, 30 seconds. This is where riding time does come into play. Claw ride again for Lucier. That was close. He's putting him in danger for sure. This claw ride is really effective. Maddox has obviously seen it before, but now he's got that kind of spiral ride in. There's a challenge brick again, and I don't know for what, but we'll probably find out. This could be one of the longest matches in regulation in this college wrestling season. Borshoff just very, very intelligently signaled to Lucier to go neutral because he absolutely. So absolutely, Kyle's going to challenge, or Coach Stutzman's going to challenge, but like, look at this situation right here. So they're in a scramble ride, and that was close. That was a 1 count, but he rides out the period here. I don't know what the challenge is for necessarily, which is fine. I mean, coaches see things that we don't see sometimes. However, you do lose the challenge brick for the rest of the duel if you lose the challenge. Both coaches have done that at this juncture. But also, like, Coach Borshoff is talking to his athlete, telling him, like, if you go neutral, like, hold position, you know, you're in a good spot. You're not probably going to get dinged for stalling unless you back out all the way. So, good strategy by Coach Borshoff here. Like, he's like, you wrote him out. This is when riding time comes back into play in this overtime sequence. And I know, again, wrestling matches can get really long. That's why in freestyle wrestling, there's always somebody winning. Because based on criteria, there's always somebody winning. So that takes away these long segments. Let's see what the ref has to say here. So no change in the call. Coach Borshoff goes, Lucier, you're going neutral, and he does. Good strong ties by Lucier. Maddox getting really active here. Really active. I love this style of wrestling. Like, he's all over him, but Lucier's also doing a fantastic job of evading action, but not looking bad. Like, looking good doing so. Great call by Coach Borshoff. really great strategy. But at the end of the day, it's the athlete that does the work, but like great strategy by Borshoff.
Lucier.
And Lucier's the type of guy that walks his anklets back to his teammate. Pretty cool.
Everybody